Hi, g'day you mob. How's it going? How do I get that? Go off my screen. Go away. What in the crap? Hi, anyway, g'day. What's going on? What's going on, you mob? Bloody computers. Hi. Hi, here we are again, yet again. Bam, 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 bam. Let's go back, all the way back to the start of the chat. Oh, look out. Mridul Singh. Welcome. Nice to see you dropping comments on a few videos lately. And being first in the chat, there'll be a large bucket of kudos in the post to you, Mridul. Mridul? Might have to get some accurate pronunciation for that, please, Mridul. Yeah, that's Mridul's first bucket of kudos in the post. Well done, you, sir. GRB, g'day, mate. Amy, how's it going? Big D, g'day, bro. What's cracking? S, hello, S, how are you? What's going on in your neighborhood today? Oh, interesting, GRB. I was watching the Falcons at some stage yesterday, and one of them was maybe 3 inches from the edge of the ledge and started flapping its wings. And then, yes, the heart attack comments filled the chat for the next few minutes. Pardon me, people claiming they nearly had a heart attack when he did that. Mishmatch socks. Say that 42 times quickly. No, thanks. How are you, Jess? Good to see you. Ding. I really got to get out of the habit of having a cigarette going at the start of my stream, where I do more talking than not. Dragon Lair, how are you, Paddy? Good to see you, mate. Dig that face mask you showed this morning. Or I suppose it was yesterday afternoon, your time. Oh, I think they get the peregrines, yes, I'm sure they get plenty. The amount of times a day those adults are bringing food. One of them does look noticeably smaller than the other two, though, I have noticed. So, you know, they don't call it a pecking order for nothing, do they? MTFNF, how are you? Welcome. And yeah, I'm sure they get plenty of pigeons up there, S. Lots of them in Melbourne. Galar, g'day, mate. How are you? Good to see you. G'day, Foxy. How are you? Foxy Roxy in the Hizeus. Welcome. Oh, nice dragon. That should be a fun experiment. My son wants to breed my coastal carpet with his Bredlii. Not sure how successful it will be. C23, g'day, brother. How are you, man? Laurie Venka, how are you? I think my chat must have jumped. Jay's Better Room, how are you, bro? Good to see you, mate. Rockford, g'day. I knew you'd be following at Rockford. And I did figure that we do normally have a minimal, if any, politics rule here, but it'll certainly be a difficult subject to avoid on this most interesting day for you, mob. Oh, I guess it is for the world, really, isn't it? Very confusing for an outsider like myself to look at the stuff that they're presenting us with in the media. So I just sort of pushed it all away and thought I'll just wait for a result so I don't sit here confused all afternoon. Yeah, what time is it in the States at the moment? About 7:30 on the Pacific coast, something like that? Or is it not even that late yet? Because I normally know I tend 10:25 on the eastern side. They've normally got a fairly solid idea sort of before midnight, don't they? Who's winning? So yeah, I figure it's probably in my best interests to just stay out of it until they know. Hello also to any lurkers and people just watching on their telephones. Pardon me. G'day, Chevy. How are you, mate? Fishy Mon, how the devil are you? Hopefully I haven't missed anyone. Let's start the stream with an interesting little story about a dude in Brisbane whose life was saved by his pet parrot. I don't have any video or anything to show, just a dude fast asleep in his house when his house caught fire, and his parrot, based on looking at pictures of it, it was an eclectus parrot, one of the most intelligent breeds of parrot on the planet and a native to Australia. Started singing out his name quite rapidly and stressedly, woke him up to witness his house drastically on fire. Everything was burnt, but his life was saved by a squawky, rowdy parrot. And thank goodness people teach their parrots to talk. Even if they do say the occasional rude words, it's all entirely acceptable for parrots to cuss. Well, I think so anyway. Thoughts? Opinions? Should parrots be allowed to swear? Someone start that Twitter poll now. I'd start a Twitter poll, but I think I've only got 7 or 9 followers. And where do we go? Yeah, Rockford, I got it. And like I said, it will be impossible to avoid. Parrots have free speech. Exactly, Jay. Exactly. They deserve to say whatever they want. And when a parrot saves human life, then, you know, why not give it the opportunity to say whatever it wants, or whatever the owner wants to teach it. G'day, Chris John. How are you, mate? Welcome, welcome, welcome. I will have a guest joining me shortly. In the meantime, though, if I... Hang on. Scungy put a picture up on her Instagram yesterday of one of these new dudes that she drew up, and it seemed to get a lot of positive response. So on Scungy's Threadless site, Masked and Twisted is available as a face mask, ironically enough. Pardon me. You can also get this one on a t-shirt. You can probably put it on whatever you want. I haven't looked too much into Threadless at the moment to check out what's available and what they do. But yeah, mask, t-shirt. Maybe if I put this on the screen as well, can write that down in your notes. And go check it out. Get a shirt or a face mask. Needless to say, without being able to do markets and stuff, a little bit of artish income would be nice for the scungy. Well, looks like I definitely fixed my hair there. G'day, ugly. How are you, mate? Welcome. Oops, that's a little bit too high. Did anyone happen to catch the Halloween stream on Fish Room Fever? What was that? Sunday morning my time, Saturday night American time. Apparently some dude was dressed up pretty interestingly. Hey Jace, how are you? Yeah, I noticed that. I was actually watching that before. And it's potentially the only reason my viewer numbers are down, because everyone's over there listening to Rogan and Tim Dillon. Who's the other dude? Eric Weinstein, was it? Can't remember who the third dude was in the suit. Anyway, it was pretty interesting, but still confusing. Confusing as the American political system is quite confusing. Thanks, GRB. Nice work, bro. Your kudos credits are going through the roof, sir. So yeah, please, by all means, right-click, open new tab, and have a gander at the Scungy's threadless stuff a wee bit later on. Fingers crossed. She's having computer dramas at the moment. She might have to throw her computer in the river. So yeah, it's a lot easier to do that sort of stuff on a computer, but if she's got to do it on the iPad or the phone, I'm sure she'll find a way. Bing, bing, bing. Amy was there. Amy saw the interestingly dressed human. Not sure if I have easily accessible pictures. Do I? I probably do if I go over here. I need that, don't I? Click that one. Close that one. Close that one. Oh, this must be so interesting. That one again, do I have to? Yes, I do. Oh, here we go. This one will do, I think. If I go over there, then come back here, yeah, it still stays there. Let's try a bit of share screen again. Go here. Oh, what a joyous and beautiful young lady that is. Huzzah. Oh, whoops, don't listen to that one. He swears a lot in that video. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Ah, goodness me. Yeah, it was good times, good fun. And yes, Ed's banana slug certainly took the cake. I mean, all I did was throw on a dress and tied my hair up and put pretty flowers in it. I did find it incredibly humorous that it was Aquamate, got him, who was encouraging me to dress up, saying everyone's going to be doing costumes, you've got to dress up, and then he comes in a hat, a chipmunk hat. And yes, I know he gave us all 57 excuses But, tells me to dress up and then puts a hat on. Oh. Have to be really drunk to cross-dress. It's liberating. It's a liberating experience. Everyone should have a crack at it. Yes, my friend who was here watching at the time, he actually very much enjoyed the fact that I closed out that stream with Hug a Crossdresser today. So, Rockford, if I don't hit you guys with the fly swatter, they bite me. Some of them bite anyway, not all of them. I'm Chewy. G'day, mate. How are you? Welcome. Aquamarine. I thought, wasn't Aquamarine Blake's mob? Anyway. But yeah, it was good fun. Good fun, and, killed an hour or so of time. Almost an hour and a half. Well, gotcha now, Fishy Mon. Really drunk to buy me a drink. Even in that pretty dress, it was very sparkly. Yeah, I got these little, I think they're like midges or sandflies. Tiny little black ones that keep biting me. But they are certainly more preferable to the marsh flies or horse flies that have been out in force the last few days. And these horse flies are at least an inch long. And I'm always so confused though, because a little house fly or something like that will land on you and you feel it. You know when a fly's landed on you. Those big marsh flies or horse flies, I mean, marsh flies are a little bit smaller, horse flies are whopping great big buggers, but they all have this ridiculous ability to land on you, but you don't even feel them until they stick their fucking bitey bit into you. Oh, and then they sting like mad. But how does such a big fly manage to land without any trace of him being there? Absolutely nuts. Now, what are they called? Chewy. Oh, come on, C23. Gotta love a good Cookie Monster voice. Something like that. Yeah, Dragon Lair. We got horseflies. I think horseflies are everywhere, aren't they? Except for the polar ice caps. I don't know if you'd call it a problem. I think national parks and wildlife potentially call it a problem because there's lots of, we call them brumbies down here. Certainly a lot of them loose in national parks, and obviously being a hoofed animal can cause a little bit of environmental degradation. But yeah, there's programs in place where there's, I think, annual culls done by professional shooters. But it's really difficult with horses because horses are one of those animals that, because they've been in such sound service of humans for so long and are treated as pets and whatnot. Anytime we talk about killing horses or removing them, the horse lovers certainly get up in arms, which, I can understand. They're quite a majestic beast and certainly very useful, but running wild in our native forests and stuff, they can cause problems. But yeah, why don't we just introduce mountain lions or Siberian tigers down here to take care of them? Nothing can go wrong with that. Obvious is the name of the band, Chewy. Interesting. Pardon me. I'll have a look for that. If I remember, I'm not going to remember it, am I? I'm going to type it into obvious metal band Thailand. See what we get. Yeah. Maybe that wasn't the name of the band, was it? Yeah, Anna, and hello, Anna. Like I said, it is problematic, and it's like the same sort of thing with dogs. When people hear about dogs dying, it really hits home in our hearts, because they are, they've been there the whole way along as we've civilized. I use the term advisedly. Civilized the modern world. Horses and dogs have been there all the way with us. So yeah, even if you talk about eating horses, that's a no-no, but it's done fairly regularly around the world. I thought zebras were pretty easy to tame, aren't they? Haven't they crossed zebras with? Yeah, they have crossed it with donkeys to get a zedonk. So those ones must have been relatively tame if they've had relations with a different creature. I suppose most wild animal relations are pheromone based, aren't they? So as soon as those smells hit, nothing else matters. Oh, interesting. Was that a chain restaurant GRB or just like a local one over your side? I mean, it's potentially a great meat, but we're a fickle bunch, us humans. Nice. There we go. It has been done. A zebra has been tamed, even if it's only one. I'll have to go back and keep looking then. Chewy. And we did say Thailand, yeah? Maybe as soon as I put Thailand in there, I think that threw my search results. Yeah. Now I get The Obvious is an American independent alternative punk band. Might have to get you to shoot me a link, Chewy, to a YouTube video or something of theirs. That would be tops. And we'll get some of them into my earballs. Oh, raising it from a baby doesn't count, Dragon Lair. Goodness. That's not a real zebra. That's a toy zebra. Got to drag one from the wilderness and chuck it up. All right. Let's bring up guest. I think I've run out of things to talk about, so we'll give this guy a turn. You know him. You love him. He's my brother from another mother. Corvus Oscen.
What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
How's it going?
Oh, it's going good, man. We're just out here. We're just out here having an election. Oh,
have an election. Where else would you want to be?
where else would you want to be but the internet? Oh, it's just a level of, like friendliness on the old internet.
Now,
what's
do I have? Because you seem a little bit quiet to me.
Am I a little quiet? I can turn me up.
But might get readings
turn
from
me up.
the.
Was that better?
Yeah, that was a little better. I mean, I do try and keep my speaker volume down so I don't bleed into my microphone.
Uh-oh, how's that?
Yeah, still good through mine. We'll
all right, good.
Wait for the general populace of the chat to comment on levels. Hopefully they assuage my concerns.
Ow. I just hit my leg over here. Oh my god.
Lucky you've got a spare.
Oh, I bashed my knee right into my. Oh, that was good. Whew. That'll wake you up. It'll wake you up after a long day,
One of those impacts where you get yourself right on the nerve, so it shoots right up through your leg and stuff.
Yeah, it felt good.
Yeah, they wake you up big time.
Yeah. So what's happening down there in lovely Australia? Are you guys on a heavy coronavirus lockdown, or are you guys back into sweet outback freedom?
We've had a couple of border situations open up. Western Australia is still keeping themselves socially distanced from the rest of the country. They don't want anyone in or out.
Yeah.
What was it? New South Wales has opened its border to Victoria, which is funny because I thought that would be the last border to open up.
Oh, really?
G'day, Joel G.
G'day.
But they, they're opening the border, but they're suggesting that people still don't travel. Do your Christmas at home this year. Don't travel to New South Wales for it. All that sort of thing is going on, but essentially most of the borders are open and people can do what they want again. The key areas like Melbourne and Sydney are reporting quite a few days without new cases and stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think Victoria wanted to wait until they had 14 days with no cases. And then I think they maybe got a week. Right. And then they just decided, bugger it, we'll just open the borders up and fingers crossed. But, yeah, it kind of looks like it's subsiding down here and stuff will get back to, I don't want to say back to normal. It's such an overused term. It's never going to be that way again, probably. But, yeah, I mean, I seem quite oblivious to it here because I'm just so rural, out in the bush.
Right.
My sort of area has been super lucky, where I don't think we've even seen a case within like 100 kilometres of me right round. I haven't heard of one anyway. Unless people want to correct me, but we're so far away from all of the main centres, and like I am only half an hour, 40 minutes from the Queensland border. Okay. But because they sort of shut down that border, there wasn't a lot of virus transporting itself over the border, but down here into where I am.
Right.
So yeah, we've come out fairly well and unscathed, relatively unscathed. Yeah, not like you guys. You guys are still struggling, yeah? Lots of dyings and whatnot.
It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, last I checked on Friday, we were like 100,000 cases a day or something. Like it's
just almost impossible to fathom, isn't it?
It's
a lot of humans.
I don't even know. Let's see. Let me go to USA here.
G'day, John McKenzie and Dead Fred. How are we, fellas? Thanks for popping in.
Yeah, I don't know. Where's the daily? Oh, there it is. Yeah, 94,000 cases reported today.
And when they say that, are they talking about new infections?
Yep, that's new cases. So today was 94,000. Yesterday was 89,000. The day before was 76,000, 87,000, 101,000. I mean, that's like the daily tolls.
Oh,
It's out
right.
of control.
So it's not like 100,000 new ones each day.
No, it is.
Oh, right.
Yes, it's 100,000 new case. That's new cases.
That's impressive.
94,000 new cases. 87,000 new cases. Like it's, you know, I don't know. And the unfortunate thing is like the you know, as people have been saying that like the you know, it's like, oh, the death toll is down, but like as the infections grow, then that's when the death tolls start to catch up. Like
Yeah.
today was 1,199 deaths, so like 1,200 people died today. So yeah, we're right back where we were like in July. So I don't know. It's wild. I don't know. I hope it'll work its way out, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
G'day, BJ Palmer. Welcome.
Yeah, GRB has a good point. Like Europe is also having wild increases and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely increasing. It's nuts. I don't know what to say, but I don't know. Doing the best I can.
Yeah, well, it's just I guess you got so many humans piled in together, isn't it?
Well,
and Europe's pretty much the same situation. So many people very close. It's bound to happen sooner or later.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say that like Americans are really all that close together. We're really not, but I don't know. It is what it is. It's not like Australia where you just drive for 600 miles and not see anybody.
Yeah. Plus, it's like in the States, your small towns are like 25, 30,000 people, so they're all comparatively like cities over here, you know. We don't have that many towns that rival a lot of the sizes of small cities or big towns over in the States.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I actually was surprised because it does seem to me with Europe especially seems a lot more crammed for humans. I've been really surprised that Europe as a whole wasn't, it should sort of be considered as one whole group of people. And if you threw that all together, do they win? Do they get all the big numbers? Because that's certainly a lot of people that are a hell of a lot closer than the cities and towns in Australia or the States.
Well, yeah, I will say that, like, from having been to Europe a couple times, like, Europe is way closer together, I think, than the States is, you know? I mean,
I think the first thing that alerted me to
there's lots of open space in the States where you're like, I don't know, there's not anybody around here.
I don't know if you've ever seen that. There's a photo that gets around of planet Earth at night that's been taken from outer space. Outer space. And that was the first time when I first saw that picture of realizing how jammed in there all the Europeans are, because it's just basically one big chunk of light.
Right.
Whereas most of the other places, apart from some of the spots in Asia and that,
yeah,
you know, lots of your lights all spread out and stuff. But when you look at that European section, it's just like lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of dots of light all together. So yeah, I'm surprised that there's any Europeans left on the planet. I'm surprised dysentery didn't get them.
It does seem a little out of this world, really. But where's my... It looks like this. Here we go. Let me see if I can't click the button here. Hello? Wake up. This program's like sleeping. Here we go. All right, there we got it. There we go.
Oh, hang on. Let me put you on solo. See it a bit better.
Yeah, I mean, that's all like pretty jammed together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then again, like, I wonder what.
I've got myself convinced that the one that I saw was even more well lit than that. Maybe mine was doctored.
Well, let me see. I got one here that might be more current. Let's save that, and we'll replace this one. Let's go side by side. This one right here. It probably looked more like that, right?
Yeah, that seems to be the one that I recall.
So, like, maybe, I mean, obviously this is cutting off an area, but, you can kind of do the side by side there where you're like,
Yeah. Or maybe the one on the right was just done with a slightly longer exposure or something.
Yeah, or maybe it's just like different dates or something. I don't know. It might be just from different times, but yeah, everybody's just like jammed in there. That's one of the things I noticed about, having been in Europe though. It was like, you're legit, like you can just drive around and you're somewhere completely different, It's very weird.
Andy plays. Hello, Andy. How are you?
Say what's up. Where'd that chat go? I gotta open the chat back up. Yeah. So
Big D's always got the good names.
We'll see what happens with the Rona thing, Rona virus.
Oh, I think everyone's just on the edge of their seat, waiting for what happens, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I fell off the edge of the seat a long time ago, and I'm just like so tired of being like. I understand that like it's probably stressful for you, but not to minimize like your experience, but like as you said, you're kind of isolated from like having to necessarily interact with like a bunch of idiots realistically, It's not like there's just like a whole bunch of people like driving around into your area and being nuts, So,
well, that's an interesting thing still as well, because we're quite close to Byron Bay on the east coast of Australia, massive tourist town, and my town Mullumbimby gets a lot of overflow of tourists, and we still see a lot of tourists coming through. Been seeing lots and lots of Queensland license plates on cars, a few Victorian ones as well. So we're still getting a ton of people from far afield coming through town, but obviously they're uninfected and they're not, coughing and shouting at people enough to spread whatever disease they've got to us. Time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, it's a weird situation. And then of course, like this election be stressing people out, So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, that little thing that I sent you a picture of this morning, or just before, that was just confusing me too much. So I just switched it off, pushed it aside, and I thought I'll just wait till the results.
Like, I think we all have to just kind of wait for the results, because there was a thing that what was it? I saw a news article this morning that was interesting because they've never had this level of like early voting and mail-in voting and whatnot to tabulate like further on, right? Like the state I live in Washington, we do all mail-in voting now. Although you can still vote in person, I think, if you want to go vote in person, I think you can. I don't know why you would, because like the state I live in, they mail you, once you're a registered voter, they mail you your voting forms, your voting pamphlets, so you can read about whoever it is. If there's like a law that people are voting on, you can look it up and actually read the text of it, as opposed to, uncomfortably being in like a weird booth and trying to remember from memory whether or not you wanted to vote for initiative 625 or whatever,
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Like I was, I forget who it was. I think it was like Bo of the Fifth Column or something was reminding people this morning that like, just relax, because this is all going to have to be counted over the next like week, and it's never like, for whatever reason, it's like a TV thing where they put out these results. They're like, we've called it for Indiana, like Indiana, we've called it, and it's like you've counted 4% of the votes. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So it's like super weird, because our elections here, like they don't get certified for like 3 weeks. That 3-week period after the voting, like. And it's always been that way. It's never been they've ever called it the night of. It's only a TV event that they do that, so
it's just the news places going for that audio grab or something, trying to say that they called it first, sort of thing.
Right. So it's a little bit odd, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what shakes out.
Yes, interesting times. Either way, it'll give, once it's done and dusted, people can stop talking about it. It'll be great.
It would.
They'll work out things won't be as bad as everything was predicted, no matter who wins.
Yeah, I think I would rather just. I think out of all of the craziness that's gone on, it's weird to think that I would like to just go back to having a standard criticism of like the government, you know what I mean? Like, wow, what are these idiots doing? They're trying to do 17.6%. Oh, that's ridiculous. It should be 17.2, as opposed to just like, they did what?
Yeah, everyone wants an angle, don't they?
Yeah. Let's see. BJ Palmer says we voted in person too. Just seemed weird to vote another day. No problem with the others. Just me. Yeah. I mean, in Washington State, like all of our voting is by mail. So I think like 12 years ago or whatever, we passed an initiative to do all of our voting by mail. So I think you could still go in person if you really want to, or you like registered too late or whatever. But yeah, like in Australia, you guys are automatically registered to vote, right?
Well, kind of. I mean, it's compulsory.
Right.
But when you turn 18, you are sent paperwork by the government, but it is still your responsibility to complete the registration to vote.
Oh, right.
So I know people that have never filled in their registration and have never voted, and, mid-30s to 40s aged people, and they've never been caught.
Huh.
And because I registered to vote as soon as I turned 18, and I missed 1 year because I was out of my electorate, because you can only vote in the electorate you're registered in.
Right.
Or you can do an absentee vote where you turn up to a different place, and then they've got to look through all of these books to try and find you and stuff. But yeah, I missed 1 year and got fined for it. It was $150 fine. And unlike other fines, you can't really talk yourself out of that one. So I've made sure to vote ever since then. But yeah, it is entirely up to the individual to finalise that registration.
Yeah.
Which I find is quite odd, because if they've got enough details on you to send you stuff when you turn 18, can't they just make it final? Then everyone's in the system, especially if they want to maintain a compulsory system.
Yeah. But that's a pretty basic complaint, though, to have. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of
Kragos.
But like in America, you have to register like it's nonsense. I don't know. The voting, luckily, like in the state where I live, voting has been pretty streamlined. But there are a lot of states where, because I can tell you like, let's see, I'm 40 now. So I started voting like 22 years ago. Back then it was like, you'd like get a thing in the mail that said that you've registered, cool, go find your voting location. What's that?
Oh, they tie them in, do they, GRB?
I don't know, I just heard like a really weird noise.
Those that never register to vote do not get called up for jury duty either. Win-win.
Oh,
that's
in
funny.
The States?
No, here GRB is Australian as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's funny. I went through this patch. I'm going to say maybe 4.5 years ago, where I was getting called up for jury duty every 2 or 3 weeks. I had about 10 in a row, just constantly coming at me.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, I haven't had one for ages. So
yeah,
I don't know what happened.
There was a point, like I got jury duty summons like twice, but I was like, look, it's a hardship for the company I work for to get time off, and so they were like, oh, okay, that's fine. But the third time I got it, they were like, you need to come into jury duty, and I just went in there and basically just acted like a jackass, and they were like, you need to excuse yourself.
Apparently it's a lot stricter now. Apparently they don't.
Just basically just go in there and act a fool, and they'll tell you to go away. Basically,
apparently that might differ to state, but someone was talking about it the other day, and they were saying that you can go in and display racist tendencies, you can be a dickhead, but they still want you to go and be on the jury.
They still want you.
Yeah, but
like, hey.
we can't use work as an excuse in Australia to get out of jury duty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's some law in place where your employer is still required to pay you.
Right.
While you take time off.
In the States, you get paid $10 a day.
I think they give you, in Australia, you get a $50 allowance while you're on jury duty per day to, sort yourself out some food and whatnot. Right. But yeah, you can't use work.
Ours is $10, and it's from the state. You get it from the state. And I'm not sure. No, like you don't have to. In Washington, they don't have to pay you. Like your work doesn't have to pay you. But like I said, I got out because it was a hardship for the company that I worked for. Not that I had to go to work, which I did have to go to work, but it was a hardship for the business if I was to be vacant.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Like the business wouldn't operate if I wasn't there. So that's on that contingency. They're like, oh, okay, that's a good reason to like go to work, because we don't want to like, you don't want to put businesses out of business.
Another interesting jury duty story is that when you get a letter to say you're required, and this is the day you're required on, please ring this number the afternoon, the working day before you're required, to see if you're still required. Now, the first 3 or 4 letters I got, I did that, and the phone response, it's just an automated phone system. It would say, you are no longer required. So the next one I got, I just ignored, didn't worry about it. And then a few weeks later, I had a $1,500 fine turned up in the post for not attending jury duty.
Ew.
And I thought, holy dooly, that's quite a hefty fine. But thankfully, I constructed a very valid reason as to why I couldn't attend. And thankfully, the sheriff waived my fine.
Oh, okay.
$1,500. $1,500 for not attending jury duty.
That's a lot. I'm not sure what the fine is here for not attending. Like if you just don't show up.
But it's the same thing.
Something.
It's the same. I believe it's the same over there as it is here. That they get, a good 30 to 50 people to come along.
Well, there was a lot. Like one time I was there was for, it was for like felony trials. So I think there was something like 300 people.
Wow.
To be for like five different cases or something. So I think it was like 60 people per room. So like when we went into the room, there was like 60 of us all on these like long benches. And then I stood up and was just like, I'm a crazy person. And they were like, yeah, you need to go away. Like, you're a weirdo. Because they ask you all these questions like, they just ask you these weird, these weird obscure questions. And they're like, please remain standing if you think blah, 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 whatever, if you think the sky is blue, it's like, oh yeah, I think the sky is blue. If not, sit down, and then it's like all these people sat down. They're like, why are you still standing? It's like, yeah, I don't know, man. You guys are saying stuff and I felt like standing up. And they were like, all right, you're weird.
Goodbye.
Yeah, I know, man. And they were like, yeah, you got to get out of here. I'm like, all right. Bye-bye.
Oh, there we go. Dragon Lair says in
Well, then a different time out. Actually, there was one time where I had to go down to the courthouse to tell them about the hardship for work, and they actually let me go. So that was cool. But the other time I just mailed it in, and I had my boss like send in a letter, which was funny. It was like getting a doctor's note or something, from school. It was like, he doesn't have to go to jury duty.
Yeah, but it seems down here that they've made it that difficult to get out of that you might as well just go and do it.
Oh my God, I was so excited for Canon to put out this lens. They just released it, and the damn thing is $1,600.
Crikey!
God, get out of here! Get!
What's so special about it?
God damn it! These stupid camera companies are assholes. I said it.
They've got children to feed too.
No, they don't. They're robot overlords. They're evil. They're the evil robot overlords. Although, oh my God, the 50 millimeter though, that lens is only $200. So, yeah, I don't want that lens, but
G'day, Moonstone.
$1,600. God damn. All right.
Moonstone, you've come in and confused me straight up. No, I don't. What?
What happened?
No, I'm just trying to interpret Moonstone's cryptic messages. Got my lucky number 33. No, you don't, Blacky.
Hey, word to the wise, though. I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you a secret.
Shh.
I bought a lottery ticket today, and I hope I win.
That's your secret?
It's not a very good secret.
No, but still, keep it amongst yourselves, everyone.
Shh. I hope I win, though. That'd be fun.
I hope you win too, because I'm not in that lottery, so we're not competing.
Exactly. And even if you did have a ticket, I would have to cash it for you.
Probably, yeah. I'm still confused, Mooney.
About the 33? Yeah, I don't.
About the 33 and the Biden comment and the have children to feed. That one I get.
Yeah, I have children to feed. Well, child. It's true. Child. I have child to feed.
My childs are all old now, so I don't have to feed them, but they certainly hit me up for other things.
Certainly borrowing money on the lawnmower.
Borrow money, music equipment.
Do you have a bitchin' lawnmower or what?
I don't know about bitchin'.
Is it like one of those little mini tractors you ride it around?
I have got one of those, but it was having troubles, and I had it rigged up so that to start it, because it's a key start,
right?
But for some reason, the ignition wasn't working, so I had it rigged up with jumper cables hooked onto the battery, and then putting one of the jumper cables down onto the solenoid.
Yeah.
And it would create massive sparks and kick your hand away, but it would fire it up real quick.
Oh yeah.
And then my son is a apprentice auto electrician.
Okay.
And he, early on in his apprenticeship, I think he was early in his second year, he came up to try and rewire it for me. Basically pulled all the wiring and stuff out of it. And it's still sitting there waiting for him to come back and redo it, finish the job. Yeah, apart from that, just another couple of push mowers in the shed, couple of decent ones. Where I'm confused now where the heck you got onto lawn mowing from.
I don't know. Well, I was just wondering about lawnmowers because you have that giant lawn in the reflection of the fish tank behind you. I mean,
well, luckily the one outside both fences is primarily seen to by cattle and horses.
Oh, all right.
And they're also actually not my property, so if they get too out of control, the owners come along with a tractor and a slasher and slash it down.
Oh, all right. Well, that works.
Yeah, it's handy. So yeah, I only need a push mower for the backyard and the front yard here, but I did used to use the ride-on one for just a section out in the back paddock because we like to keep a certain area out there. I mean, even though it's someone else's property, we've got like piles of stuff stored out in the paddock, and
yeah,
you keep your grass relatively short around your fence lines. Then you can see the evil snakes coming to get you. So
I know, like last week, you just went outside and caught a stinky ass snake.
Wild, wasn't it?
You were just like, let me just go catch this snake with my teeth. I saw you out there. You tried to act like you brought it in with your hand, but I know you caught it with your teeth. Out there.
I was trying
scrounging around like a puppy dog.
I was trying not to get the musk on my hands and only.
Like a dingo. You got dingoes out there, yeah?
Not in my neighborhood.
But you just have random dogs coming in the door, yeah?
We have there is an issue in my area with feral dogs, wild dogs getting around.
Yeah, but packs. you had like the neighbor's dog come in the other day, yeah?
Yeah.
He's like the idiot that can't take care of his dog. He doesn't know what a leash is, right? Yeah.
I think that was that might have been that dude's last day on the job too, because I haven't seen that dog since, thank goodness.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was just like a worker guy who was just like being an idiot. Oh, yeah. Well, typically those those guys that like they show up and work for 3 days or something, they're not around for too long, and their dogs aren't well behaved, or the opposite, or their dogs are like the coolest dog ever. It's one or the other. It's never a middle ground.
I mean, it was a
Situation.
really cute little dog, but it looked like it was underfed, and it was definitely undertrained. And I'm kind of glad that that old mate finished his work there, because if I had to deal with his dog many more times, I was going to be having heated words with the gentleman on his uselessness and ineffectivity at training a dog.
Well, yeah. Isn't that's just life, isn't it?
Yeah. You pick your battles, though.
You gotta pick and choose, man. You can't go for all of them.
The day that you're talking about, when I watched him drag his dog by the scruff of the neck down my long driveway, I probably could have had at it with him then, but I think I'd had a few too many beverages during that stream, so I don't think I would have been that effective as a haranguer. But yeah, since being exposed to Scunch Princess's amazing dog training, I've really got a massive appreciation for people who actually put the effort in with their animals, to make them operate effectively. Because there's so many, with this COVID nonsense, there's so many people spending massive amounts of money getting dogs, and they don't realise that it's a commitment like a child. You've really got to put the time and effort in if you want that dog to behave how you want it.
Well, I don't understand, like down in Australia, like why would anybody down there be paying a lot for a dog?
I think it's purely the COVID thing, because all of a sudden people needed an excuse to get out of the house. So getting out of the house, I'll take the dog for a walk. What dog? I don't have a dog. Right, I'll go and get on a waiting list with a breeder. People are paying like 15 grand for dogs.
Well, there's a lot of idiots out there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but I think the biggest warning sign should be that if somebody
could like come give me 15 grand, I'll give them one of my dogs. Here you go.
Yeah, well, I would assume that if you're going to spend 15 grand on a dog, you're going to want to put the time and effort into making it a decent person.
Yeah,
but I think they just want the accessory. I think most of them.
They just want attention when they go to the park, right?
Or walking down the main street of my town.
Yeah.
Hey, Amber. How are you, Amber? Long time no see. Hope you're well. Joseph is treating you like a queen.
Oh, I see JH and Big City. Look at that. Joseph and Amber showing up. It's a world-famous live stream now.
Indeed.
The
4 of us.
That's right. Well, Moonstone Aquatics said she's going to bed, right? Or said she's going to bed. No, who's going to bed? Mismatched Socks. She's going to bed.
All right.
Sorry, I got that wrong. I read the wrong name.
Sleep well, Socks, or Jess, whichever you prefer.
I always find it rough when people change their name. I'm like, now I got to keep that straight.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably a little bit more difficult with you having, about 19 more subscribers than I've got. So, and thankfully, I do have.
I don't know. I've been trying to get rid of them as much as I possibly can. I've been running the diamonding. I'm trying to get down to one super fan so I can give them the show. I'm just gonna give it away. When we get down to one fan, they take it over.
Nice. That's a good dream.
I'm trying to drive them nuts, man. I'm trying to drive them crazy by being, me. And then it seems to work. It works pretty good.
Well, you find your true audience that way, don't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's funny because, people will come to like my live show, right? And they're like, You can't be talking about the thing I don't want you to be talking about that you happen to be talking about right now randomly when I just showed up here. Now I'm super pissed about it. And it's like, what? like it's like the first comment that somebody posted into the chat is like, talk about this other thing. You know, and you'd be like, what the? Okay, well, all right.
You're in the wrong place.
Now I don't want to. Now I really don't want to.
Yeah. Bloody hell, now I got mosquitoes as well. I'm winning the bug race.
Oh, you're getting into like mosquito season, aren't you?
It kind of never stopped this year because we didn't really have much of a winter.
Oh,
I think we had a 3-day winter this year, and the rest was the combination between spring and autumn.
What is happening? My phone. Oh, okay. Sorry.
GRB, I saw a dude in town the other day, and he had a dingo cross. Not sure what it was crossed with. Probably, I think Kelpies are popular to cross with dingoes, but they're such beautiful looking dogs.
Right. We had a problem with dingoes in eastern Washington for a while there.
Really?
Yeah, probably 25 years ago. Somebody had brought dingoes over, and they bred with like the local like
ferals,
the feral dogs that were out there. And like they just started pack hunting and doing all this crazy stuff. And yeah, I mean, we had to hunt them all, or like not we. I wasn't allowed to shoot dingoes. It was my job to shoot starlings, the little tiny blackbirds. And but yeah, they all had to be like hunted and trapped and all that kind of stuff and get rid of them. But
yeah,
they were out there just like terrorizing the place. It was like they just started breeding like crazy.
Yeah, the feral dogs are a fairly massive problem around here because obviously it's a farming community, and there's lots of livestock and stuff getting tore up by these feral dogs. I still remember, crikey, it would have been over 20 years ago now. We were at this party that was about 36 kilometres away from my home. And one of my mates that was at the party, he got bored and decided to walk home 36 kilometres. He was quite an athletic lad, so he was doing a bit of running and stuff along the way. And
jogging?
He got, a bit of light midnight drunk jogging, never goes astray. Got to a certain point of his trip where he was starting to get tracked by about 4 or 5 dogs. And he could, he knew that they were there. He knew that they were coming. And, they sort of exploded out the bush at him and came for him. And luckily he was a very fast runner because he ran and ran and ran. And I know dogs are renowned for their stamina, but he ended up getting away from them. And we left at like sun up the next morning and started driving home. And lo and behold, we picked him up just on the outskirts of town. He'd made it 33, 34 kilometres of the 36 in about 5 hours.
Wow.
Machine.
Whew. That's a long distance.
Yeah.
I think how many let's see, 4.
Are you working out the miles?
Yeah, I gotta calculate. There we go. Yeah, I think right now I do about 6.5 kilometers a day.
Just out and about, or like on a treadmill, or just?
I do laps around the neighborhood. Like I go way over there and then I cut across, then I come back and I just go around and around. Six.
It's a pretty sensible
4
way.
miles. It's 4
Yeah.
miles, so it's not earth shattering or anything like that. But I don't know. I caught a lot of COVID weight, dude. I was like coronavirus lockdown and the baby weight, dude. I was carrying around a little baby weight too. And I was like, this aggression with the being a little bit fat, I was like not having it. So I started I literally did the thing that like an idiot would do. I would be like, I'm just gonna go and run around like every day. So
Yeah,
I
well,
did that, and it worked. I don't know how much is 15 pounds. Why do I have to convert everything?
28 kilogram. No, hang on, the other way around, isn't it? 15 pounds, 490 grams to the pound.
6.8 kilos. There we go.
It's almost
so let's round it up and call it 7 kilos. I was 7 kilos overweight. And so yeah, I dropped that. I got rid of that.
Well, I've certainly
now. Although I hurt my back like really bad last week. Right at the beginning of my work week, dude.
Walking is the best for sore backs.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I haven't been able to lift at all in the past like 8 or 9 days or 8 days or something like that. And I don't know. It's starting to get to me.
On the job, you mean? At least on the job, you have the power of delegation.
I work by myself, man. I work by myself.
So you just got to kick everything along the floor until it's near where you want it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle, but got through it. It was fine. It's doing better now, but I still don't want to I don't want to tweak it. Let it heal.
Yeah, I put a whole bunch of weight back on with the COVID. I mean, I'll blame the COVID. It's so easy to do. But I'd gotten down to 89 kilos, which was lighter than I was in high school. Lightest I've been in my adult life. And yeah, now I'm back up over 110 kilos just from not doing very much during COVID times. Drinking Coke and stuff.
Yeah, I was like kicking down some ice cream and stuff like that because I was like, I'm gonna eat ice cream because ice cream's delicious, dude.
Yeah, it is, and it's evil as well. It's very evil.
Well, I'm to tell you, man, if there's some, I've met some people in my life that were like, I don't like ice cream, and I'm pretty sure they may or may not have been either the devil or closely related to
That's
Satan.
where I went straight away to devil.
I'm unsure what their deal was, but that's just, I can't trust that. You don't like ice cream. What is that? What is that? I don't.
I mean, me and Scungy, we were doing the because she has different dietary requirements to me, so I'd go and buy a liter of this particular ice cream and she'd buy a liter of this particular ice cream, and then we'd go and plonk in front of the telly, and then an hour and a half later and our ice creams are empty.
Well, that's like somebody's lactose intolerant, right?
Yeah,
but they have like almond milk ice cream or
there's so many options now.
There's so many options. It's just not even. You can't use the lactose intolerant or vegan or anything. You have no excuse. There's no excuse anymore, and it's nonsense. I can't trust it because you could literally get the vanilla and carob chip vegan ice cream. That one is actually good. I've had it.
Well, I normally hate coconut-based products, but there's an ice cream brand down here called Over the Moo, not Over the Moon, Over the Moo.
Yeah,
and they do this vanilla coconut ice cream that is absolutely delicious.
It's like over the cow's teat.
Indeed, but yeah, it's like you buy this tiny little what would it be? I'm going to say half a pint
Uh-huh.
of ice cream, and it's like $10 or something like that. So the only way I got
strong.
to try it was dropping one on the floor at my old job.
Right.
It was, you can't sell a broken ice cream container to people.
Well, I used to make gelato and sorbet at one of the restaurants I worked at. We'd make gelato and sorbet and all that. And yeah, I love ice cream. I love making ice cream. Yeah, it's just good, dude. And I kind of want some now. Got me thinking about it.
Well, I mean, the only one I've got a chocolate soy based ice cream in my freezer. That's one that Scungy has left behind.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, with any of the soy based products, I just find that flavor of soy milk overtakes everything else. So it's a really difficult one for me to come at unless I'm really stoned or drunk.
He's like, in that position, you might just eat an old shoe.
Yeah.
I found some crackers here, and I don't know how old these crackers are. Oh, the package has been opened. I'm gonna eat these because I'm into it. Yeah.
I've still got a Frush that's in my fridge that's been there for about 9 months. I'm saving that for one of those moments, just to avoid the soy. I mean, all of these processed foods like that, surely they last a lot longer. It's just that when they open, they degrade so much quicker or something.
Yeah, it's true.
So you just got to eat it fast.
Yeah, you gotta. Oh, man.
But yeah,
I'm wiped out today.
No one should live without ice cream. I think that's the message that we can take away from this conversation.
We could definitely take away. Man, this daylight savings is ripping me up this year, dude. I'm getting old.
I hate daylight savings.
Well, it's weird having a baby here because I was like, oh, man, daylight savings, dude. This is going to be awesome. I get an extra hour of sleep. No, I don't.
Yeah, she doesn't read clocks yet.
I stayed up a little bit later because I wanted to watch a TV show that I don't ever get to watch. It was a stupid idea. That was the stupidest idea I've had in a long time. Because
it's like
instead of getting up at 6:15 on Sunday, because Olivia normally sleeps till 6:15 a.m., she got up at 5:15, and I was up. But I'd just woken up, you know what I mean? I was just like, and I was like, oh, still 5? I could technically go back to sleep for a little bit. Nope. No, sir.
Yeah, I always fail at these. You say, yes, I'll go back to sleep, and you spend that 45 minutes that you think you've got trying to go back to sleep, and then you finally get to sleep about 2 minutes before the alarm goes off.
Yeah. Then you're tired all day. Because you fell asleep for 90 seconds. You're like, wake back up. I can't wake up.
It has an effect like jet lag, I reckon, the daylight savings, that it stuffs your body clock up that much that you're just ruined for a few days until you sort of regulate.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say the jet lag is just... Jet lag's epic going to Europe. When you go from the States to Europe, that direction, whatever that is, from the west to the east, I guess. Yeah, because you're headed easterly. That's brutal. But coming back from Europe to the States, going westerly, actually is not that bad.
Yeah, right.
I adjust super quick.
Yeah, I think the longest I've been on a plane was 3.5 hours, something like that, to Fiji, and I don't think I think there was barely a difference in time zone. Well,
I can't remember how long. I can't remember how long the flight is to. I think from Seattle to. I think Seattle to France, right? Yeah, because you land in at Charles de Gaulle.
It'd
I
be
think it's
lucky to
11
be
hours.
12 hours. Yeah, I was going to say it wouldn't even be 12.
Yeah, I think it's 11, 12 hours, something like that. And then
Oh,
get
g'day,
on another
Mick 'em-
one,
Mick
and then
'em
get on
snuff.
another one. Another airplane.
Hmm.
Charles de Gaulle Airport looks fancy, but it's a dump. I literally was sitting in a seat, like waiting to.
In the plane.
No, in the airport. And it started raining on the seat. I was
wow.
inside the building. Like the roof leaked so bad that it was like I started getting wet, and I was like, "What is happening?" Like
It's maybe
I'm
it's
inside the
heritage.
terminal, and it's raining inside the terminal. It was stupid.
It's probably heritage listed, and they're not allowed to fix it.
Yeah. Oh, Mirador's got my back. He says 12 and a half hours. I see. I don't remember it being that long, but I guess maybe it is 12 and a half. I don't know. I get in that rhythm of like when I get on those long flights, I just go like, this is how many hours it is, and then I just count it down. You know what I mean? I just go like the clock's going, and then when the clock's up, that's when I'm there. I get in that weird rhythm of just like, oh, there's 7 more hours to go. There's no other option. Just like,
Yeah.
okay. And then there's 6 hours to go, and then there's 5 hours to go. And it's like, well, there's still 5 hours to go. Just keep waiting. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that clock watching always seems to make the hands on the clock go backwards.
Mm-hmm.
G'day, Priscilla. How are you? Welcome.
S bet $100 Trump would win because the odds were negative 165.
Wait, doesn't that mean you owe him $65 if you lose? Or is it the other way around?
No, you'd let's see, Biden. I think Biden was at like 225, I think. So I think if you bet 100, you'd win 165, right? Or is it more than that? You'd win if you bet 100. If you bet 100 and it's 225, you win 225. See, I think you win your 100 back plus 165. I don't know. I don't gamble anymore, dudes.
Yeah, I don't either. I thought you always multiplied by whatever the odd was. So wouldn't that mean he'd win 16,500?
Would it be 16? Would it be 1650? Yeah, it might be 1650. Is that right? I don't know.
I was going even higher, 16,500, I would imagine. Well, look out. Clearly, none of the electric fences are working. Have a cow stranded in one of the electric fences, and the big bull has no problem at all leaning on the other electric fence. He's going to climb the fence and mate with the heifer. Well, if she doesn't, she's coughing. She's going to spew in his face first. Foreplay. Bovine style.
Let's see. Big D Smoke says the longest flight I've taken is 5 hours and 20 minutes from SeaTac to JFK. Flew the red eye though. I fell asleep. Yeah. I've taken that Seattle to JFK, Seattle to Newark, that kind of stuff. And that's not, those flights aren't that long. I mean, 5 hours is sort of like watch, 2 good movies and space out for a little while. It's not really that big of a deal. But I personally am not a big fan of the having to sit up straight for that long. It does get a little bit rough. But as I was saying, I think the biggest thing that I go with is just being in the mindset of like, I'm going to sit here for however long it's going to be. Just like if you were at work, you know what I mean? Like when you show up at work and you're going to be there for 10 hours, like you just work for 10 hours, Thirsty Rabbit says, "Go Blues! Go the Blues!" Who are the
Thirsty.
Blues?
Yes, we have a annual tradition in Australia called State of Origin. It's
Right.
a rugby league football series
Uh-huh.
of 3 games between Queensland and New South Wales to
Right.
determine who is the best state at rugby league.
Uh-huh.
Normally it happens in the middle of the season, and it's 3 games, and they stupidly spread it out, sometimes over 9 weeks. They'll have 1 game, they'll have 2 weeks off, another game, 2 weeks off, and then the final game.
Mm-hmm.
This year, they're doing it how I think they should always do it, at the end of the season, and three games each week. 1 game this week, next game next week, next game the week after that, because you're getting a full show of their ability in the sport. Whether they get injured or not, they've got to pull back in the next week, do it all again. They don't get the time to recuperate. And yeah, I just think it's the best way to do it. End of the season, after the normal rugby league has finished, and then bang, 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 1 game after the other, really push them through.
Well, that's like, American football is like that. You basically play the whole season, then you have the playoffs, and you only have a 2-week break before the Super Bowl. That's it. You just have like 1 week off before the Super Bowl, because you just basically play 1 game every week until the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which that's one of the weird things is like, American football is all about managing injuries, basically, is one of the biggest parts of being an NFL team. Is like, do you have the depth, because people are going to get injured? It's like your running backs are going to get injured, linemen are going to get injured, and like if you have depth and good coaching, you can make it through the season.
Well, yeah, and you're talking about a team that comprises at least 50 humans, isn't it?
53. Yeah.
53. I knew we'd spoken about it before. Quick hellos again to Thirsty. Welcome, mate. Alien World Aquatics. G'day, Scotty.
Thirsty says go 49ers, but the Seattle football Seahawks.
Peplin, how are you, Pep?
Gave them a walloping.
Chattanooga Ed, good to see you, Redbeard. And who else did I just see? One other name I'm not familiar with. Abolished Aquatics. G'day, Abolished. Welcome. But yeah, our rugby league teams, they only field 13 players at a time, right, and 4 on the bench.
Okay.
So sure, you've got a 17 player team. Plus, you'll have backup players in the wings and whatnot. Oh, g'day, Dad Sperana as well. How are you, Dad?
Yeah, because you have they have a practice squad, right?
Yeah, I imagine they've got enough dudes that they can do a little bit of training against a full other side.
Right.
But yeah, kind of a little bit more streamlined than 53 dudes plus all the other training squad and whatnot. So yeah, I think
you only have let's see, the practice squad is only 7 guys.
Nah, right.
But what's different with American football versus rugby is that you basically have 3 teams within the one, because you have the special teams, which is all the guys that do all the kickoffs and punting and all that kind of stuff, and then you have the offense and the defense, and then the backup players for the offense and the defense. But most of the backup players, they play like multiple positions.
Sure. Yeah.
Those are the guys you want. You want the guys that can fill a hole. When some guys get injured, Like, how many positions can you play? Oh, 3? Oh, that's good. We like you. You'd be a backup guy.
Yeah, I think when I played rugby, I think there was only 3 positions on the field that I didn't play. I had to go at pretty much all of them.
Right.
But, then I turned 21 and all of a sudden felt really old, too old to play rugby union anymore. That was rugby union I was playing too, not rugby league, which is a slightly different kettle of fish. But yeah,
Moonstone has a good point here. Speaking of my Seattle football Seahawks, we've made some mid-season acquisitions that are very exciting, including Michael Kendricks, who does not have to go to jail this year.
Always a good thing for sports.
Always a good thing. He was actually insider trading, believe it or not.
Oh, really? For the organization that he worked for?
Well, it was insider trading. He made a stock. You bought some stock and stuff, and they had the inside tip or whatever. Federal agents got involved, and he's had this looming court date for it. And the Seahawks got rid of him. We got him because they thought he was gonna go to jail. The team that he played for, they were like, he's gonna go to jail. We better get rid of this guy. We picked him up, and then they kept delaying it. Like, he kept getting like court continuations, and then they deferred the sentencing and this and that, and then COVID hit, and so they were like, oh, we're not prosecuting insider trading until next year. We need to deal with like real crime right now. We'll do that next year. So they just picked him up. He's coming back. Carlos Dunlap coming out of Cincinnati. That guy's going to be exciting. What's that? Dwayne Snacks Harrison. He's going to be coming up. And hopefully our all-star. Does he play safety? Jamal Adams? He should be back. I mean, it's going to be exciting defensive play this weekend.
Why does his name sound familiar to me? Jamal Adams. Has he been in the news for anything?
Oh, probably. He got super pissed off. He was playing for the Jets, and they're terrible.
For some reason, I sound familiar. But was that in reference to the utility stuff? Are the Seahawks picking up more utility players that might be more versatile upon the field? Is that what you're saying?
I think our punter is. I think our punter's Australian, right?
A lot of guys come out of the Australian football and get reasonable time in American football. They're the only guys that I've heard that have had decent success in American football are from Australian rules football. There was another kid that came out of rugby league, Jared Haynes. He went and had... Who did he go to? Thirsty might have to confirm.
Yeah, this guy went to Kirawee High School.
Kirawee, that's in Sydney, I believe.
That is in Sydney. Believe it. His name is Michael Dixon.
Don't know him. He must be one of the 22 people I don't know in Australia.
Oh, lordy. He's only 24? That's probably why you don't know him. He's a kid.
Yeah.
I thought he was older than that. I thought he was like 30 or something. Well,
he's out of my target demographic.
Australia's just aging people. It's making their 24-year-olds look like they're 30. You know, it's an issue. You guys should maybe look into that.
It drives me with sports. People have been trying to say they're older or younger in sports for a long time.
Well, it says that he was born in 1996, which is insane because I distinctly remember 1996. Odd.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
It is odd.
It's like when I'm in the bottle shop and these kids come in and I'm looking at them going, and they don't even get asked for ID. And I thought, oh, that's right. 18's a different thing nowadays based on my perception. Yeah, right. There you go. Thirsty has confirmed that Jared Hayne went to the 49ers. he did a year in the States. I'm not sure if he got much game time while he was over there, but he certainly, after the season, he was straight back to Australia looking for places to play rugby league again.
Yeah, I think he played I think he was on the practice squad or something like that. He's a all-world rugby player, right?
Again, Thirsty might have to confirm. I know he certainly played for a few teams in the NRL competition, and I believe Thirsty has already confirmed that he did play for the New South Wales Blues.
Right.
Probably, I would imagine he might have got a run for Australia as off the bench or something.
Oh, people are saying he ran into some legal issues. Okay, well,
Plot thickens.
I don't know. I mean, our punter is Australian, and he's really good. He's a really good punter. He kicks the ball well. That's about it.
Well, that's primarily why
he doesn't do anything else. That's all he does.
It's primarily why the guys from the Australian Football League, why they get the credit for the punting in the States, is because the Australian football is much more a game about kicking than passing and stuff. So you get these guys that
trust me, you're not gonna come from Australia and be a quarterback. That's not gonna happen. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. The guys in the States that become a quarterback are they're the son of a quarterback, and they start playing when they're 4.
Yeah.
And they're groomed for their entire life to make it to college football. And then those guys, 90% of those guys all get brain damage and herniated discs in their backs, and the knee gets blown out, or they get 5 DUIs while in school, and then they don't make it to the NFL. But there's a 10% that's left, and then 1% of that 10% that's left over get drafted to the NFL, and then 1% of that 1% makes it to play in the NFL. So it's you want to be a quarterback in the NFL, good. It's not a good plan.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to be in the NFL, I would say don't, is what I would say. I would say get a business degree and run marathons. There you go.
Though I do think with there's always been a little bit of American football played over here, and I think it is getting a little bit bigger. So, potentially Australians do like to be awesome at sports and stuff. So, let's say maybe in 10 or 15 years, we might see a quarterback from Australia in American football.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, it's like the meat grinder that is the NFL. It's very difficult. It's very difficult to comprehend, but the college football program, I think the top 2 tiers is 256 teams, I think. So is it Division 1 and then Division whatever? I know that Big D Smoke will correct me or whatever, but it's 256 colleges.
Yeah.
That these football programs. I mean, you talk about Texas football, right? The Texas Longhorns is probably a bigger program than any of the rugby professional teams, right?
Yeah. Well, most of our teams, in the top tier of the competition, they'll only have 1 or 2 feeder clubs, they call them, where they will have their scouts at those clubs looking for the new talent to come through and stuff. But yeah, that sounds like a much more thorough or involved system over there where they've got all of these other teams that lead into or funnel into this one main team sort of thing. Did that make any sense? Didn't feel like it made sense. Anyway.
How big is? Hold on a second. Everybody's talking about how big. What's his name? Sorry, Damon Harrison. How big is he? Because they're talking about big guys in the.
Yeah, GRB saying that Samoans are supplying some big boys to the NFL.
That's true. How big is? I think
because Samoans used to have a lot of financial viability in the rugby union, but as a sport, rugby union seems to be.
Oh man, Damon Harrison, he's much more reasonably sized than I thought. He's only 6'3" to 360 pounds.
Reasonably sized. It's a big boy still. Thirsty
let's see.
Said the same thing I did. Jinx thirsty, even though you said it first.
Sorry, I've been coughing like crazy today. I don't know what's going on. I think I inhaled too much drywall dust earlier today.
That'll probably do it.
Yeah,
I've had this mad irritation at the back of my sinuses, but I think it's because I switched to a different brand of tobacco that a friend of mine who came and visited me when I was on my live stream the other day. He's every time he opened his tobacco pouch, I could smell it, and it smelled so nice. And when he was smoking it, it smelled so nice. So I thought, I'm going to give that stuff a burl. Bought a pouch. Yeah, it smells nice, but it's not very pleasant to smoke.
No.
I'm hoping that's what's caused the irritation in the back of my sinuses.
It's probably the Rona.
Probably, but I'm such a fit and healthy specimen. I'll beat it in 27 hours.
I'm sure you're right. Get out there and get some sunshine in your eyeballs, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, good old sunshine. That's my only defense.
All right, buddy. I got 9 o'clock here. I got to get up at 3:30. So,
righto. Thanks again for your time spent. Appreciate it.
Good to talk to you.
Always good. I hope the nonsense pans out how you want it. Obviously, everyone can't get what they want.
Well, it's like the Rolling Stones. You can't always get what you want.
I thought I was happy with the Rolling Stones reference because not everyone likes the Rolling Stones, is it?
Not everybody, but it is like the Rolling Stones in just its own right.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I voted for Biden. I mean, obviously my local elections are more paramount. But yeah, I mean, I voted for Biden. It just seems the only sensible choice out of the bunch of three.
Well, I mean, I guess my personal opinion is that most people that are voting for Biden expect him to die within 5 months, and then hooray, you'll have your first female president. That's how it works, right? Kamala will be straight.
I mean, I really don't expect him to die or anything like that. I mean, it's both of those dudes are super old. So, I mean, either one of them could die because they're old. But our first female vice president is a pretty big deal. I mean, I don't, not to discount that. So that's a big deal. As far as I'm concerned, we've never had a female vice president ever.
If that's the best thing that comes out of this election, then so be it.
Yeah, I just
so many bugs in my face.
Get your bugs in your eyes. All right, buddy. I gotta go to bed.
All right, thanks, Jolie.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Where's the button? There's a button around here.
Yeah, terrible fun trying to find those buttons. All right, and then there was one. Boom. Oh, crikey, it's already 4 o'clock. So I probably should have just said, yeah, we'll call it. We'll go home. Well, hang on, I'm home. Everyone else is too. What else? If you'd like to see me in drag, cross-dressing, go and check out Fish Room Fever's Halloween stream. That's right, I dressed as a lady, a bearded lady, but nonetheless a lady. By all means, go and have a look at that. Check out Thirsty Rabbit's YouTube channel. Awesome channel. Needs a few more subscribers. I'm assuming most people here are all over Thirsty. GRB, thanks again for your moderating expertise and skill. What have I done to this nonsense? Yeah, that'll do for now. Everyone else, thanks for hanging out. It's been good fun, as usual. And as usual, I had nothing planned, but we got through a good, solid hour and a half and a bit. It was good fun. Swing on back, check out some videos. Check out, hang on, if I put this back up on the screen, have a look at Scungy's Threadless or her Instagram. Lots of good stuff going on with Instagram. New pictures every day so far, or a new picture every day. Yeah, other than that, keep it high and tight, people. Try it out. Lol, I don't have a lace monitor C23, but my son, my snake wrangling son, Joshua, he caught one out of a fella's garage the other week, and he was stoked because it was his dream. He wants to keep lace monitors, and he'd never encountered one in the wild, let alone caught one. So he got to tick a lace monitor off his bucket list when he pulled one out of this dude's garage, and only got a couple of scratches from it. Like tiny little ones. No bites, no gashes, just a couple of little scratches. Yum, yum. Apart from that, indeed, what Thirsty said, go the Blues. Oh, go the Blyes. I know he meant Blues, though. Good luck, everyone, with your election. I hope your country settles in to the new normal or the old normal, whichever one eventuates. Fingers crossed for all of you Americans and all of you Australians. We don't even have to care, really, much. All right, take it easy, everyone. Oh, you know what? I wonder, why not go out with a song? I'll let a song play. Yeah, but what song? Goodness, no choices. That'll do. All right. See us all in a week, if not before. Take care. Behave yourselves and all that stuff. Oh, I'm still here. Hi, Crystal. Bye, everyone. Good luck. Go well. And I'll see yous when I'm looking at yous. Bye for now.